Let's get into it. Good morning, y'all. It's Timothy. I'm hungover. I had 3 lemon drops and not nearly enough water, and I had a bunch of fish, so I can expect myself to throw up at some point tonight. I drank more water a second ago. Maybe I'll down some aspirin. I am about to lose it. It's already bad enough being haunted by your own sins. But my friends are not exactly any better, so having terrible friends makes you kind of realize why your love life is that way. Because, in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs or whatever, it's like, you usually need a sense of community. And it's recommended to have one before love. But my community is fucked and everyone's love obsessed because no one puts value on friendships. I went out with a friend tonight. His name is Sean. You might have heard about him before. When Sean is great, he's great. When Sean is bad, he's Sean. He's the type of guy where he will get so drunk at a Martin Luther King show with nothing but black comedians. With his white ass, he will get so drunk that he will threaten to Will Smith the comics, aka repeatedly for multiples of them, interrupted the show to damn near threaten to hit them in the face. He meant it as a joke. You could tell he meant it as a joke. He's a scrawny, stupid bitch, but still, people were still uncomfortable because it doesn't matter if he was a playful, autistic, relatively scrawny dude with a braided beard and a receding hairline. You would still be like, dude, calm your ass down. You're creeping us out. Scaring behavior. And then let's just say, let's get to the point. I have a friend named Seamus. I learned recently that he is still very much with the fucking girl he was supposed to dump a year ago. Almost a full year ago, he told me he was about to leave her, and guess what? I'm sure maybe over wintertime he probably mentioned still being with her, but how they broke up and how there was no chance of them getting back together. Guess what? They're still together. So congratulations, Seamus, you fucking idiot. You could have wasted a year of your life or a year and a half. You have now wasted 2 years of your life because you value yourself so fucking little. And he values me so little that my opinion holds no weight in his life. I get it. People have free will. People do what they want, and I have many times of me not being the easiest person to leave a relationship. But I'm gonna, you know what, I'll suck my own dick a bit. I had reasons to not leave those relationships. You wanna know why? I didn't have a fucking community. I would have never dated Morgan that fucking long if I actually felt like I had people who consistently cared about me. Now, did I have people who, I had at least 2 people who checked in on me every day, thank God. But one of them was someone, I was in special ed for several years, and I'm drunk, I'm gonna say it. One of them was a mentally retarded bitch. You know, the type of girl where you could say, hey girl, sorry, I've been so busy today. I've been trying to get a hold of T-Mobile for hours. They have not let me. I've been trying to talk to them over chat and their chat's not working, and over call they're it's just an AI that goes in circles. I cannot get a hold of T-Mobile to figure out a phone bill issue. And she'd be the type of girl to be like, oh, you know what you should do? You should contact T-Mobile, yeah, and you should try the chat feature. That should work for you. And they should get back to you, or you could call them. And it was just like, oh wow, I'd never thought of that in my fucking life, thank you, stupid fucking bitch. And as you can imagine, our friendship ended because she chose dating a pedophile over not dating a pedophile. She's a weirdo. We haven't talked in ages, and I don't regret that. And then the other girl, well, non-binary specifically, I apologize, the non-binary person, they were nice, but they were the type of person where at random they would call me and they'd be like, oh my god, Timothy, you need to help me, I'm so scared, I don't know what to do, I'm having a panic attack, I'm freaking out, and then you talk to them, and then it would just be like, this business said that I must call them, but at the same time, I tried to email them, and they're so stupid over email, and they said my only option is to call, what do I do? And I'd say, it sounds like your only option is to call, and they'd be like, but I don't like phone calls because I'm autistic with anxiety. I'd be like, you could still call them, but just record it so you have the evidence. It's not illegal in your area to record it if you do want to have a paper trail of what these niggas say to you if they're lying. Or if you want, like, I don't know, like, and I would try to guide them through certain situations. Sometimes it was situations where they were completely fine to be under my melting dress. Other times it would just be them saying, I don't want to send do a phone call, or would be them like just being like, how do I tell this guy I'm not interested? Oh, just say, you seemed cool, but I don't want to see you again. Or it was nice meeting you. I think we aren't compatible, but thank you for your time. Or better yet, if you really just don't want to, you don't quite owe him an explanation, and men can handle being ghosted. But I'm just saying, it's better to say it than to not, in case he wants to be weird towards you or whatever, because most men can't take a hint until they're explicitly told you're not interested. I don't know. But let's just say over time, she was a nice enough person until she wasn't. And let's just say she wasn't there. Like, I was there for her during so many breakdowns and phone calls. I would be on the phone with her for 6 hours straight if I needed to, letting her vent, letting her cry, talking about her goals, talking about her life. But the one time I actually attempted suicide really badly last year, slit open my wrists and everything. It was bad. She couldn't pick up the phone. Not even any sort of I'll call you back. Just nothing. She was not there for me. Fuck her and her stupid ass ugly dog. And I don't know. I'll put it this way. I would have left my stupid ass evil ex from last summer sooner, way before I ever considered suicide, if I had a community. My ex Morgan, I had some people around me, but even then it was people who would use me as a fucking therapist or the dumbest people alive. And even then it would be like, it's like Morgan sadly was the most interesting one. He was the one where it's like we had inside jokes and amazing sex and fun compatibility and nice dates. It's no question why I chose to be around him, but even when this shit got terrible, even when I was having 5 menstrual cycles in a fucking month of just endless bleeding, and I was stressed out, and I was getting grabbed by my wrist to the point where it felt like he broke something inside of it, when I was getting all sorts of terrible treatment, I was not being consistently reminded by people that if I were to leave him, I would have had a safe fucking haven in anybody else. I hate people more than you can ever fucking imagine. So much. I was happiest when I was like 12. When I was 12, it was so easy. When I was 12 or so, I used to cut people off super quick. Sometimes I didn't even give them a chance to get near me, because I thought to myself, I'm happy with the life I have. I am happy with being in random little chat rooms and having a cute little blog and having a sweet little life and not having to deal with people and their issues and their stupidity. I am fine watching endless anime and TV shows and being by myself and having my opinions and not being around these fucking numbskulls. And I thought that as life got older, I was meeting more interesting, lovely people who were more on my wavelength. You're just meeting different genres of numbskull. It's so disappointing. I feel especially annoyed tonight, not just because I can tell that this hangover feels like an axe to the face, but because genuinely, I went out with a friend tonight, Sean. He's pathetic in so many ways. He's cool in certain ways, but I'll put it this way, he doesn't quite give space for me to genuinely see him as a friend. Like, I think he kind of deep down knows that I see him as more of a guy that gives me money, not a friend. Like, he's a guy who's around, not a guy I want to be around. There is a difference. And as for him, he was like, I love seeing your face because it helps me, especially when I'm suicidal. Would you like to go to a fancy dinner tonight? And he did my 2 favorite tactics of getting me out the house: bribing me with food, even better if it's fancy, and on top of that, bribing me with guilt trips. Easy. He got me out the house. He already fucked up several times. He said something snarky about the way I was dressed. Like, Like, he was trying to say he was relieved that I dressed more casual for the evening, but to me it was still my version of dolled up. I had a cute little pink tank top and cute little pink pants, and that were like out of a nice velvety material, and a cute little pink headscarf and some nice jewelry. And he said something kind of snarky, like, finally you listen to me and don't feel the need to dress up so much. It's like, nigga, that's just my natural fashion, to look fucking good. It's not all of us want to look like fucking homeless anorexic Jack Blacks, you fucking cunt. But whatever. And then me and him, we went out to this fancy spot that I've been to before because it's nice. The waitress was a little bit of a bitch at first, but you know what? Whatever. Like, I think she kind of stopped it later on in the evening. Let's just say I remember I took off my jean jacket, and this nigga off the bat says something about my titties. Like, he tries not to at first, but he's just obviously like, oh, like, he gives like a, oh, is this allowed voice in terms of like me. Like, nigga, it's a tank top, number one. Number two, I don't have hella cleavage going on, or at least not hella. Number three, calm your ass down. You've seen a woman's body before. But this nigga just started, like, he had the good googly moogly ass attitude. Like, he just like, holy mackerel. Like, it's like, I get it. I got big titties in a nice small waist. But chill, nigga. And he said something inappropriate that he should not have said as a man who is single. But it's like, okay, I guess now I know my buddy Sean thinks I have great tits. Yay. I didn't want to know that information, and I probably could have guessed, but ew. I don't want to ever. I don't. Ew. We talked, and let's just say something very irritating about being around a man who, like, you ever meet someone and they're like the equivalent of like a pot that you can tell is about to boil over any second, but it's just that awkward stage where they aren't. He was like that. So it's just like, here's someone who's sad, and it's just like, and angry, and anything I said, he wasn't fucking with. Even if like we got like, also, why are you inviting me out to dinner and you have a small appetite? But whatever. Dinner was on him, and he was like, get whatever you want. And I remember the way, anytime I tried to be like, look at the size of this calamari, or tried to ask him a question about his life, or tried to talk about mine, he just acted as if it was like pulling fucking teeth. And at some point, I just had to tell him, I was like, you don't have to invite me out to fucking dinner if you don't like me. Because I'm just going to get insulted. Because if I'm out here making an effort to talk to you, to share, like, you haven't, I told him, like, and he also kept monologuing about his life, but not fully. I'll put it this way. If you want to talk about your fucking mom with me, talk about your fucking mother. If you want to talk about how depressed you are, or if you're suicidal, or what's stressing you out, then do it. I don't like the type of punk pussy bitch to be like, I'm suffering and I'm going through it and I'm not gonna tell you, but if you dare not to have the conversation on me, I will sulk and huff and whimper and like fucking zone out any second, and act like any second that's not about me is the worst time to be had ever. It's like, nigga, fuck you. Like, I have been going through a lot recently. A lot. A lot. You've seen it. If you've followed my content for a while, you know that I have been going through it. You want to know what's funny? I forgot to mention this. During the dinner at some point, as Sean was talking, like, during one of his monologues, and Shauna is also a fucking cunt in the sense that he does this thing where he can tell you're talking, but if he wants to say something, he will not hesitate to not only interrupt you, but also talk over you. So I took the knife that was to the left of me, and I slowly dragged it across my wrist several times, just as I did when I almost killed myself the summer before. I used roughly the same amount of force, but the good news is the serrated dull blade offered to me at this fancy restaurant was not quite as strong as the nice big sharp one I used last year. People make me sick. You wanna know what's funny? I'm sure he saw me do it, but he didn't fully notice, and he didn't give it any attention. And do you know how pathetic it feels to be around someone where it's like, oh look, I'm trying to slit open my wrist in front of you and you have no reaction. What's funny is I remember I had a breakdown in front of Seamus, and I pulled out a switchblade, and I stared at my wrist, and I brought the blade close, and the only reason I didn't do it was because Seamus did not give a single shit. I could have slit my wrist in front of him, and bled out on the floor. And he probably wouldn't have done shit. He probably wouldn't have cared. I don't really care about people. I want to kill people. I would be so happy as a serial killer. The only reason I'm not a serial killer is because, well, orange is my color, but I don't look good in jumpsuits. I know what my body type is, and it's like, no, thank you. And two, I don't want to. Well, I'm open to being a lesbian's bitch, but not like some ugly hag. Like, ugh. No, thank you. I don't like, no, thank you, for so many reasons. But I don't think a lot of people should be alive on this planet. And sometimes I think about how many people shouldn't, and I just think to myself, it'd be easier to just take myself out the game. I want to spit in so many of these niggas' faces. I want to call them pathetic in so many ways, but the good thing is they usually fuck up their own lives. So instead of feeling sorry or annoyed by these motherfuckers, how they vent and rant and talk only about themselves and are such narcissistic, self indulgent, arrogant, stupid motherfuckers that will continue to fuck up their own life and never value a single fucking word I say. You know what? It's good, because you know what? Seamus is still with the whore who torments him. So I get to masturbate to the fact that, you know what? He is being tormented by a woman who's cheated on him, who constantly tells him he's worthless, fucking stupid, unimportant, and lazy, and unambitious, and not worthy of being a father to her fucking two kids. And you know what? I'm happy. I hope she torments him some more. If I had her phone number, I'd be like, drag his ass to hell and back. Scalp that nigga. Treat him worse. I want you to make him feel like, I remember once I saw Seamus at his job, and I remember we had stopped talking for a bit because obviously he was a weak ass, mark ass bitch. But I remember the specific day he was crying at his job, and he specifically asked me if I could come by and stop by because he was losing it. He punched a metal door so hard that it felt like he dislocated. I think he actually did dislocate one of his fingers, and he had to wrap his hand. And I remember the way he cried in front of me and sobbed like a little bitch, a slobbering, blabbering, pussy ass bitch. And it made me so fucking happy to see him that way. One, because maybe I'm a little sadistic in the way that, and two, maybe because I actually genuinely care about people. And I like when men are vulnerable with their emotions and are able to process things and not just be the stupid, fucking, unempathetic idiots they are who don't care about what's like. I like it when men show that they're human because they often act as if they're fucking not. I like it when you can tell they're affected by something that it fucks them up. Anyway, he cried in front of me because I was one of the only people he trusted. But guess what? He doesn't love himself, so he's gonna keep staying with that bitch. And she's gonna keep hurting him. And it's not my issue. And I think at some point I need to condition myself not to get irritated, not to feel bad or sad, but to just laugh inside until Seamus learns his fucking lesson and leaves the bitch. Same for Sean. Sean was a fucking idiot, but at some point tonight I had enough lemon drops and I told him about himself. I was like, you are out here taking the pussy easy way out. He said, no, I'm not. I said, which is the easier thing to do? In your head, at least. Like, going out every single night, pretending you're single, drinking, and laying on park benches and staying out hella nights just so you can avoid being at home and not face your girlfriend, or breaking up with her and getting your own apartment. You are choosing the easy way out. And he admitted it. And let's just say the talk I had with him, he sort of was having panic attacks. And I think he also was making parallels to his mother. Because let's just say his mother, sadly, in a very, very sad and tragic manner, when she died, she had been missing for I think a few months. And her body was found abandoned in the woods. And it fucked with him, and he says that's the last time he really felt cared for with the comfort and love and warmth of a woman. And I sympathize with that. But you know what? I won't say much. I just had to remind him, you're walking around suicidal instead of doing. Like, I had to say, would you rather kill yourself because you're constantly living with this hoarder chick who doesn't give you a place to sleep, eat, or shower in peace. And then you have to, like, what, sleep in a bathtub next to a bunch of fucking newspapers from the 90s? And then eventually one day you'll just wake up fucking dead, and I have to hear about it on the news or in some horrible fucked up way, instead of you just dumping her and getting her own fucking studio apartment. What's going on here? And I think that triggered him because he also kind of saw the parallels between, like, the way he's considering suicide and the way his mother, with her mental issues, I believe, no offense to her, the way she sadly had tragically passed away alone, and it was a bit much for him. And he kept shutting down, which didn't make conversation easier. And then eventually he just decided to just get off the topic entirely and deflect, which pisses me off. Because it didn't stop him from doing the whole, well, like, you could tell he secretly wanted to talk about his mom. You could tell he secretly wanted to talk about his life, his girlfriend, all that, but he was refusing to. And it's like, spare me. Like, it's just theatrics, it's cowardice, it's pussiness. If you want to fucking talk about it, talk about it. And I know you might be like, to me, are you, sorry, are you really a non-judgmental presence that can handle talking about it? Yeah, I can. I remember Sean at some point, he tried to shade me passive aggressively. He was like, I told my homie that the best thing you that I try not to talk to people who haven't been in my shoes about my relationships, since they'd never understand. I had to tell him, nigga, I've been in your shoes plenty of times. It's hard as fuck for me to leave relationships. It's not easy. It's difficult as fuck. There's a million reasons why one might stay. Circumstances don't work out, partners get abusive, not a real sense of community, all that. But it's still a very important to try. And he just didn't try. And it's just fuck him at this point. But you wanna know what's funny? He tried to flirt with me tonight several times. It's like, you're trying to make effort to cheat on your girlfriend than leave her. You're fucking pathetic. You would much rather. And also, it's like it's an insult to me that you're trying to cheat on your girlfriend with me, and you know I don't even like you. And like, multiple reasons why that's terrible. But I just really thought to myself, like, this is fucking ridiculous. And maybe it's just a trigger for me because it's like, plenty of people I can list. Like that baby mama girl I was friends with, where it's like she would endlessly yap about her baby daddy. And it's like, okay, but when are you going to try to move on? She would, like, it's like, and it's just like, like JC, if anyone remembers JC, I've known him for years, and it's just like his victim mindset of, like, yet being endlessly about how he's not going forward in life, but he's ignored every opportunity. And it's like, sometimes people are just too comfortable being a victim. Funny enough, I'm trying not to have that mindset myself. I've been trying to go out these past few days because I thought to myself, I don't want to sit in the house sulking and crying over some nigga like I have a history of doing. I want to genuinely seize the day and try new things, and I've done good at that. But I have to say, tonight was a rough night because it also just kind of made me think, like, okay, here's niggas who are just tolerating my presence but don't truly want me here. I exist in their realm as an NPC they can talk at or through, and they will never be able to truly. They don't ask about how I'm doing. They don't care. They're fucking losers. And I am stuck with stupid fucking losers. And then what happens for me? I get a hungover headache and I feel sad. And who's there when I'm sad? No one. Except for historically the abusive people I was with. So it's no wonder it's hard for me to leave them as well. I fucking understand that shit, Sean. God, Sean's disgusting. But it's okay. He will suffer for his insolence. But let's just say, your girl is tired. I want good friends. I want good friends. Anyway, I gotta pass out. I get the feeling I'm supposed to be alone for a very long time with very few people around me. But on the right side, I have a homie who I was talking to tonight during intermissions of Sean's audacity and cheating and weirdness my direction. And, it wasn't a totally bad night, but still. And let's just say I still have some people around me who are sweet and make life worth living, and I appreciate that. Sean has his highs and lows, even though tonight was a low that was bad enough that I might not consider seeing him again, no matter how he guilt trips me or tries to buy me out. And then as for the other people, shout out to the people who actually ask about me, check in on me, see what I'm up to, and listen to me talk and care. That means so much to me. And that's why